The first thing we're going to do is create some openings for the windows. So I'm in the default perspective camera here, and I'm going to insert an edge loop across this building here. So that's the shortcut. If you can't remember where it is, here it is in the menu, and I'm going to align it to the top of the window. And I'm just going to make sure it's at least at the top. I don't want to get any, I don't want to be below, if anything slightly above, like this. And every time I insert an edge loop, it's taking time because I'm working with this very high resolution texture here in high quality rendering, which is useful because it allows me to know precisely where to add these lines, but it also slowing the process down. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you this texture for as long as I have to, and then I'll just switch it off. Okay, that's done, and I'm going to do the same thing vertically, but the problem is if I go through vertically with an edge loop, it's going to split the whole geometry, and we're talking about the building in front and then the ground, so we're going to waste a lot of polygons. Okay, so I'm going to undo this. An alternative would be to do as follows, would be to use split polygon tool. So edit mesh, and I've got split polygon tool, and I could go click, click, and then enter, and that's done the split for me. I don't like to do it that way because it takes more time to go click, click, and also I'm not sure it's going to be very vertical all the time, so I would need to realign those points, so I don't want to do that. So let me just undo that. I'm going to use insert edge loop tool, but it's going to give me a chance to show you another tool, and let me go to this mode so I don't waste any video space as well, showing you some high resolution images. What I'm going to do is split this building from that one. Right now we just have one piece of geometry, and that piece of geometry has everything. Okay, so we don't need it to be that way. So I could start to do some cleaning up actually, which would be useful. So I'm going to separate, let's say, the top of the building from this part, which is the, let's say, the front bit, the wall, and then we're going to have the street, and then the pavement. Okay, so let's do a bit of house cleaning. So let's go to face mode, and I'm going to select the top part of the building, and I'm making sure I've got nothing else, and I'm going to go mesh and extract. So now I've got two pieces of geometry. You see on the left it's created a group with the top part and the bottom. So I'm going to call that one a stone building. Then I'm going to select the bottom one, and I'm going to create some geometry just for the street. So I'm going to select these, again go mesh, extract, and this is going to be that one, the street. So which one is this? So you see it's creating a hierarchy of nodes here, which is why it's very, very important to name things properly. And there's a transform node which is hidden. So what I'm going to do is select the whole thing, and I'm going to go delete history. I've got a shortcut for it. If you don't have one, you should create one. You can find it in in edit, delete by type, history. Okay, so all these kind of transform nodes that get created when you do things get erased. So it cleans things up. So what I'm going to do is rename this to geometry, and that's going to be the group that contains all the geometry we have for this scene. Okay, so it's going to have everything basically. This is the street. This is, for now, it's two things, so I'm not going to rename it yet. So that's going to be, we could create the wall. But you know what? You could rename this little part and call it the wall, but I'm actually going to create something else here. So rather than doing this, I'm going to delete that. And if I need to rebuild something, I will later. But the same principle applies. And I'm going to create some geometry for, so separate these, and that's going to be the brick building. So let's extract it. Extract. Okay, so which bit is this? Object mode. That is the brick building. which means that this must be the pavement. I'm going to call it that way. You know, there's some grass and other things. Pavement. So now we've got all our bits together, and again let me do delete history to get rid of this. So history gone. So now I've got these groups I don't need, so what I'm going to do is just put everything under geometry. So the brick building, I'm going to middle click on it and then move up to geometry. Same for the pavement, middle drag up, and the street I think is already at that level. That's correct. And now these two empty groups, I don't need them, so I'm just going to delete the top one. So now I've got something clean. I've got my stone building, I've got my brick building, pavement, and the street. So I can work with this.